respected dais, and my senior colleagues and friends. I got this opportunity to speak or share my views on the sociology of sanitation. Before coming to the point, I would like to give you some background that how I am involved with the Sula movement as volunteer and always took keen interest in the subject matter, the content which were read by Dr. Pathak on various occasions, on various platforms. In fact, if you remember being a student of sociology, that in America, United States of America, the urban ecology of Chicago School came into prominence to study scientifically the problems of urban society, which were coming up due to the Industrial Revolution. And it was a very much integral part of their study, the urban planning. And the issue of sanitation was involved in their planning since the beginning of their scientific planning of the cities of United States of America. Friends, it was not the neglected aspect. Sanitation was never neglected by them. They developed different models of urban growth. Now, of course, they are talking about urban crisis in developing countries. And I think the crisis is in the form of sanitation. They emphasize time and again that there is a case of over-urbanization and sanitation is almost negligible in our rural society. The data revealed by the different organizations also verify this situation prevailing in our country as well as in various developing countries like us. In this background, one article written by Louis Watt, Urbanism as a Way of Life. The article contained 32 pages, and the entire discipline of urban sociology grew, taking inspiration from that article. Later on, a number of sociologists in America and United Kingdom, they contributed a lot, and the discipline established as the scientific study of urban society. Later on, in India, what we find that we borrowed the concepts of the developed countries. What we mean by primary group, what we mean by rural society, what we mean by joint family and the family. And these concepts are irrelevant if we experience our day-to-day life with regard to these concepts. Certainly we have to think afresh. We have to categorize, we have to conceptualize our social relationships. It is in this background our department, influenced by Dr. Pathak, was the pioneer one which hold national workshop on the course content of action sociology way back in 1997 at Udaipur. Professor Jogendra Singh was there, and a number of eminent sociologists keen interest in the development of the syllabi, the curriculum. And we started teaching our postgraduate students there. But one problem was there, that action sociology was a sort of perspective, a tool to a study. But the content was missing. There was no, in fact, limit of the subject matter as such. After having so many deliberations, finally Dr. Parker came out with the idea of sociology of sanitation. And it seems that the sociology of sanitation is a much, much broader concept which comprises a bundle of concepts, like the concept Sanskritization contains, as it was remarked by Professor Yogendra Singh, that Sanskritization is a bundle of concepts. Similarly, I find myself that the sociology of sanitation is a bundle of concepts, and the definition given by Dr. Parker, if I read that definition, sociology of sanitation, to quote Dr. Parker, sociology of sanitation is a scientific study to solve the problems of society in relation to sanitation, social deprivation, water, public health, hygiene, ecology, environment, poverty, gender equality, welfare of children, and empowering people for sustainable development and attainment of philosophical and spiritual knowledge to lead a happy life and to make a difference in the lives of others. So I find that it contains a bundle of concepts, bundle of areas where the sociologists have to respond timely. Otherwise, this neglected aspect will remain neglected, and whatever we could achieve in the field of economy, that will not serve a long-term or sustainable development for a longer period of time. Friends, I would like to thank Dr. Parker that he has sponsored one major project to identify the economically weaker section who do not have toilet facility in their house, or unhygienic condition, unhygienic toilet they are having. So we conducted a benchmark survey or biometric survey of 20 cities of Rajasthan, and we identified around 17,000 economically weaker sections who do not have that facility, and finally that project was submitted to the government of India. We also identified the practice of carrying human excreta on the head, or the dry vacuum, which the government of Rajasthan has immediately converted into more scientific or the Sulabh toilet. In fact, now coming to the issues which I have raised in my paper, the issues related to important data, national urban policy, that as regards the sanitation policy, 12 states in India were in the process of either elaborating or had completed the state sanitation policy. Only 12 states. Around 120 cities in India were in the process of framing city sanitation plans in 2010. Also, 436 cities rated themselves in terms of their achievements and process concerning sanitation. The rating serves as the baseline to measure improvements in the future and to prioritize action. The following data reveals the rating. About 40% were in the red category. That means they are in need of immediate remedial action. 50% were in the black category, means needing considerable improvement. Only handful in blue category, means they are recovering from sanitation point of view. Not a single one in the green category in India. This is the situation. Investments were made was hiked during the 11th five-year plan and of course 12th five-year plan. When the data came in the limelight, the policy makers and the government responded quickly to improve the situation. But it needs constant evaluation because in some of the cases in the rural area, what we have found that the infrastructure provided for toilet facility were used for some different purposes. Means the purpose for which the infrastructure were provided were not used for that purpose, rather for other purposes. So my friend Professor Thakur has rightly pointed out that it requires a constant beating. Only then we can ensure a sort of attitudinal change among the beneficiary of any government policy and plans. From among the developing countries, India is having the largest number of people going for open defecation. That is 69%. Nepal is 60%. Pakistan is only 40%. Afghanistan 20%. Maldives 4%. Bangladesh 8%. Bhutan, Sri Lanka only 1%. So the condition and the situation of sanitation in India is quite miserable. If we go and compare the situation of open defecation with the other Asian countries or the neighboring countries. Again, very interesting data, 75% of the scheduled tribes do not have sanitation facility. 76% of the scheduled castes, 69% other backward classes, 43% other communities. They do not have such facility in their homes. So So what I am trying to emphasize, that the various departments of sociology can undertake such steps to identify or those who do not have such facility, or they can identify those who have the facility provided by the government, but they are not using properly. What are the reasons why they are not? And the students can be utilized as a catalyst to bring about a sort of attitudinal change among the beneficiaries. Only then we can achieve the target of Millennium Development Goal, which envisages that by 2015 we will achieve total sanitation. But the data is far, far. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Any questions?